Buying a car, it's a huge milestone, right? But that whole financing part, man, it can feel like you're lost in a maze. So today, we're going to give you the map to get through it so you can drive off that lot with total confidence.
So, you've found the perfect car. The sticker price says $28,000. But is that really the price you're going to pay? Well, if you're getting a loan, the answer is a big fat no. In fact, the final number could be thousands, and I mean thousands of dollars higher.
Yeah, you gotta think of that sticker price as just the starting line. The second you start talking about financing, you're adding interest to the mix. And that's the hidden cost of borrowing money. It's exactly where a ton of people get tripped up.
But what if you had a financial GPS for this whole journey? Well, that's pretty much what an auto loan calculator is. Let's fire it up and see what it can do.
Okay, so what is this thing? It's a super simple online tool that does all the heavy math for you. You just plug in a few details and bam, it spits out your monthly payment, the total interest you'll pay, and the true cost of your car. No more guessing games.
And it's really easy. You only need 4 key things to make it work. The price of the car, how much of a down payment you've got, the interest rate, you'll hear that called APR, or annual percentage rate, and the loan term, which is just how many months you'll be paying. That's it. That's all it takes.
All right, let's put this thing to the test. We're going to walk through a real-world scenario to see how one seemingly small decision can make $1,500 difference. Seriously.
So let's meet Sarah. She's found this awesome $28,000 SUV she loves. She's got a solid $5,000 for a down payment, and her good credit scored her a pretty decent 6.5% interest rate. The only question left is the loan term, and you're about to see how this one choice changes everything.
First up, let's say she goes for a 48-month loan. That's 4 years. Her monthly payment would be around $545. Over those 4 years, she'd pay about $3,160 in interest. Now, that's a higher monthly bill, for sure, but keep your eye on that total interest number.
Okay, now what if she stretches it out to 60 months, or 5 years? The monthly payment drops to a much more tempting $450. Looks good, right? It feels more manageable. But watch what happens to the interest. It jumps up to almost $4,000. And finally, the 72-month option, a 6-year loan. The payment is the lowest yet, just $385 a month. Sounds great, doesn't it? But look at this. The total interest skyrockets to over $4,700. And here's the absolute key takeaway. The lowest payment almost always comes at the highest long-term cost. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. By choosing that 72-month loan instead of the 48-month one, Sarah saves about $160 a month, which feels nice. But she ends up paying an extra $1,560 in pure interest. That is a huge difference for the exact same car. But hold on, the loan term is only half the story. Let's look at another really powerful piece of this puzzle, the down payment. You might be surprised at the kind of ripple effect it can have. So let's rewind a bit. Sarah had that $5,000 down payment. But what if she only had $2,000 saved up? How would that change her 60-month loan? Just to refresh your memory, with $5,000 down, her payment for that 5-year loan was about $450 a month, a number she felt pretty comfortable with. Now, with only $2,000 down, that same monthly payment jumps all the way to $508. That's an extra $58 every single month. Over the life of the loan, that's nearly $3,500 more coming out of her pocket. That is the power of a bigger down payment. Okay, so now that you see how all these numbers work, how can you actually use this information? Well, here are 3 simple rules for the road to help you make the smartest purchase you possibly can.
First off, and this is a big one, get pre-approved for a loan before you even set foot in a dealership. This gives you a rock-solid budget. Second, don't fall into the monthly payment trap. I'm serious. You have to focus on the total cost of the car. And third, try to stick to this really handy guideline called the 24-10 rule.
So what on earth is the 24-10 rule? Think of it like a financial guardrail. You aim for a 20% down payment, you finance the car for no more than 4 years, that's 48 months, and you make sure your total monthly car expenses, and that includes insurance and gas, are less than 10% of your gross income. Look, buying a car is one of the biggest financial decisions you're going to make. But you don't have to go in blind. A few minutes with a calculator really empowers you to make a choice that fits your budget and your future. So now that you know the hidden costs,
What story is your auto loan going to tell?